About to be preseason week 2 out in Hawaii for the Cowboys. So we'll have to see what's going on tomorrow night. We got the Rams, and it's not exactly a revenge game, but it's definitely a way to analyze your team knowing you're going up against them later this season. So we're going to be looking at the backup quarterback battles. Mike White and Cooper Rush, see if maybe the Cowboys decide to switch them two up, because Mike White's getting killed behind that third and fourth string offensive line. It's not helping him that his left tackle's a turnstile right now. Maybe if he gets a shot behind the twos, we can see a little more of what he's got, but that's depending on the team and the coaches if they even care. Running backs, I like to see more of Pollard and Weber. They're all rookies. They're supposed to be our new workhorse backs, but we'll see if they treat Tony Pollard like he is the future starter. Mike Weber, they didn't really give much attention to. Darius Jackson, we already know what he is because he's been in our system so many times and cut and brought back. Chun, I don't think has a chance to make it this year, but he'll probably be back on the practice squad. And Alfred Morse, he brings that veteran presence, but he's almost like Marion Barber. He's going to have to get a lot of carries and have to get going before he can actually be seen as possibly a starter. Well, a starting caliber guy who's going to carry the rock. Wide receivers, John Vaya Johnson, he needs to stop the dropsies. That was what killed him in training camp so far and preseason game 1. He's had a lot of passes thrown his way. The coaches are trying to give him confidence, but he keeps dropping them. Now, some are a little off the mark, but for the most part, they're catchable, and he's just dropping them. Reggie Davis, he looks pretty good. He's got a shot possibly of overtaking JVJ. We got Cedric Wilson. He definitely looked better the second year after his injury, his rookie season. So if he's out of his concussion protocol, they might give him a shot this week, but they'll probably hold on to him until the third preseason game when it's real dress rehearsal. They probably want to see a little more of what he can give with the starting offense. Let's see. Offensive line. Our starters are set. That's well and done. The backups are a little it's a little off. You can see a difference. But behind them, the 3s and 4s offensive line is just bad. I mean, they've tried to work on depth this whole offseason, but it seems like there's still a lot those guys got to pick up the speed and learn. But most of them are rookie free agents, so that's to be expected. But when the lights come on and your number gets called, you're needed. Plain and simple. All right. On the defensive side of the ball, starting with our defensive line. The defensive line rotation, the starters are pretty much set. I do like that they have that fire. I mean, they're called the Hot Boys, so it's a dumb name, but we'll see what they got. The rotations look pretty good, but I need to see more from Taco or he's done. I don't care if he's a first-round pick. He's just not showing me that he wants it. He's basically Rico Gathers to me. Just because he's a first-round pick, he thinks things should be handed to him. He hasn't earned it, and he's getting outplayed by Dorrance Armstrong, Kerry Hyder, and others in his position group. And he has the lackadaisical effort towards bringing out that potential that we think he has. But other than that, the defensive tackles rotation is pretty solid. We do need to see more out of Tristan Hill. I do understand you're a rookie, but you can't get washed out of the plays, man. If you take on double teams, at least make an effort to get the linebackers free or something. Linebackers. We're pretty much set as our starters with Sean Lee coming back, the Predator, Jalen Smith, and the Wolf Hunter, and Van Der Esch. Behind them, it's a little shaky, but I think the backups are pretty good. They're experienced. They know that if they have to come in and work on a dime, they know their position groups and their assignments. Corners. We have a lot of corners. A lot of them have stepped up. Cheeto, he is proving that if he can bring that potential this season, he can be a lockdown corner opposite Byron Jones. And for a guy like Byron Jones who had 0 interceptions, he locked down that whole half of the field regardless. Until he got hurt late in the season, they wouldn't even throw his direction. Jordan Lewis, he's had to step up in the slot with Anthony Brown playing on the outside. Both of those two can be pretty much reversible as far as playing outside and in the slot. They're both pretty good, but Chris Richard loves Anthony Brown because of his length and his measurables, which I think is okay if you got those type of players, but the players we have, you have to run with, and Jordan Lewis has stepped up and proven he can play. The safeties, I don't even know why we got George Ioka. He's almost an afterthought. There's almost no point to him even being there when he's getting passed over by Darian Thompson, Frazier. Every safety that's on the squad is passing this guy. Other than Jamil Showers, who I don't even know why the Cowboys keep on the team, other than to be a camp body and be a safety body. Our starters still look to be Knockout Woods and Jeff Heath to go. Now, Jeff Heath, I want him to be solid at safety, and if that means that he's got to be taken off of special teams, then so be it, because he needs to concentrate fully on one assignment, and that's it. Because once they start putting him on defense and special teams, that's when you start seeing him wear down over the course of a game. Now we have Kayvon Frazier, who can step in and help out, and some of the deeper safeties that are on the squad that can step up in his absence. But Cowboys just need to focus on one thing instead of trying to move one player around so much and make them Swiss Army knives, knowing that this hasn't worked well in the past, and there's evidence to that. But that's my position group. Oh, last position group, special teams. JP or LP Lideker, he's about as old as I am, and I'm almost 40. This guy's been around the league since Romo and Witten, and he's a forgotten man. The guy's been solid in all his work, and the only time you've even heard his name was last season at that Redskin game where the refs called a penalty that has never been heard of before until now. And if you watch how he plays, it's the same way he snaps every single time. And for some reason, they decided to call it that one time, knowing the game was on the line. So, Chris Jones, a punter. He has a little bit of competition in Redfern, but I don't think anything will change. But he's got to do better than that first preseason game where he barely kicked 35 yards or whatever it was for his 1 point. Brett Maher, oh Jesus. Every time he comes up, it's Bueller all over again. You never know if this guy's going to make a chip shot or miss it wide. And that scares me in the games that we have won so close so many times. We can't have that. They need to bring in competition, and I don't know if this other kid, I forget his name right off the top of the bat, but if he's going to get a shot, he needs to be looked at right now in this game, in preseason game 2. All right, that's my look at position groups for preseason game 2. Can't wait for the game tomorrow night. I'll be at work, but I'll try to watch as much as I can in between things and give my analysis after the game. All right, peace.